Alright, what up boys? It's me again, and this video is gonna be a little different, because I'm not gonna be doing a review or an unboxing. I'm gonna have a video coming soon about this mic that I'm talking in right now. This is the AT2020. But this video is gonna be about why you should have a PC instead of a console or an Xbox and why it's better. Alright, so first thing is that you don't have to pay a fine like Xbox Gold or PS Plus because those are like what $60 I think a year, and for PCs you don't even have to pay anything. You can just play whatever the heck you want whenever. You don't have to pay any fines or anything. So that can also add into the price of your final PC cost, because over time it'll your console will take more and more money from you, whereas a PC you don't have to do anything for it. Also, you can customize your PC. There are many different parts that you can do, or not do, but build into your PC. For example, I have 3 extra fans in my case because I just can. My case supports it, so I can do it. And there are a lot of other things, like you can choose between your processor, your graphics card, your RAM, all that different type of stuff, what their speed is, and all that. It's just, there's basically infinite solutions. You can't run out of combinations because there's just so many. Also, it's cheaper because, I say that in a general sense, but if you're going for a gaming PC, it still can be cheaper. I was talking to one of my friends before, and he was like, "Oh, well, I don't want to have to pay $1,000 to build a PC," and I told them that you don't have to. You can build one for your price range that you want. You can build one for $100,000 like Linus Tech Tips is doing, or you can go all the way down to $100, or this one guy built a PC for 30 cents. It all depends on your budget and what you're going to be doing with it. So, the more expensive you get, the more powerful it is going to be, basically. Most of the time. That's just how the trend is. And you'll get higher frames because, it's more powerful, and you'll get a more bang for your buck. Also, so for a console, you can only be at 60 frames per second and at lowest settings. For every single game, it's always lowest settings. For PC, you can adjust those settings. For example, I was playing Watch Dogs 2. It looked like absolute crap on the console. It looked like it was a game from like 2011. That's how bad it was. You can only get 60 FPS, where as a PC, you can get as many FPS as your monitor supports it for how much refresh rate it has. So, right now, currently, you can get a monitor that's up to 240 hertz, which refreshes the screen 240 times a second. So, then you can have 240 FPS for a game, and it'll just seem so much smoother than it was on a console. Also, if you don't know how to build a PC, you can just do YouTube, search up a YouTube guide, and then get the parts that they have and build it with them step by step. It's really easy. It won't take that much time out of your life. And if you don't want to go that route, then just have someone else build it for you that you know. Like for me, I'm building a PC for somebody in the summer. And I'm perfectly eligible to build a PC for someone. It's not like a one-time thing because I can go on and help other people about it. Also, if you don't trust anybody to build you a PC, you can always buy a PC. There are multiple different companies with multiple different types of products. For example, there's NZXT. They're really awesome because you can have a wide range of parts, and you can also choose what games you want to play, and then they'll specify which parts that will come in the box once you order it. Okay. So, if you don't have the budget to buy like all brand new components, and you're kind of a broke boy, but you still want to get a good gaming experience, I'd recommend you buy an old workstation pre-built without a graphics card, and then you put a graphics card into it. Now you can get a PC nowadays that can play every game for around $250 to $200 if you on like lowest settings, of course, but 1080p. If you buy a old pre-built that's from probably around 2015, and then you just slap a somewhat modern graphics card into it, like a 1050 or an RX 540, or an RX 460, that'll do very well in your system, and you'll be able to get a lot of stuff into it, and a lot of bang for your buck. Also, there are Steam sales. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Steam sales are just amazing because you can get stuff up to like 80% off. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like PlayStation exclusives are good, but like I would trade Steam deals any day from PlayStation exclusives because they have some good stuff, good deals there. Also, you don't just have Steam as a platform. You also have Origin, Epic Games, Blizzard, and all those major companies that also sell their games on their other websites. So it's always a competition, and that's why Steam has those sales, because they'll be able to reel in a lot of money because people will go to their website instead of other websites. So it's good competition, where on like the PlayStation Store, there's no other stores that you can go to. And also, you can do editing software and stuff like that on here, so that's what I'll be doing with this PC. Right after I finish recording this, and there are a ton of other games that you can play on this. For example, we have, let's say you want to play CS:GO. All right, you can play that, but it's a Steam exclusive, so you can't play that on PS4 or Xbox. Let's say you want to play Half-Life. You can't do that because it's made by Valve, which Valve owns Steam, so you can't do that either. And there are, let's say you want to play TF2. You can't do that either. So, my point in case is that there are a lot of more games and there's a lot more variety with desktop. Also, you wouldn't be able to use this microphone that I'm using right now. It's just a compatibility issue. This thing only runs on Mac OS, I think, and I'm using it on Windows 10 right now. So this is a really nice mic. As I said before, I'll be doing a review on it later. And another thing, if you are going to build your own PC, look for deals, because that can save you $100. For example, Micro Center, they have a processor and motherboard combo deal that'll just save you $30 instantly. Also, like for my RTX 2080 that I have, so I got Battlefield 5 free, and I also had it with a combo with a power supply, which is a 1,000 watt power supply. It's totally overkill, but it was only $50. It was $130 off with the graphics card, which is an insane deal. Also, I got my motherboard, which is a Crosshair ROG Crosshair 6, and that I got for $70, which originally retails for $220. And then there are a ton of other deals that you can get, and it's completely insane. Just how many deals, no matter if it's Steam games or actual physical hardware. So yeah, that's basically that's the majority of everything. Oh yeah, and then again, if you just want a browsing PC, or you just want to watch YouTube videos, or you just want to have an emulator, just buy a Raspberry Pi. because they're like $30 to $35, and they're really, really good bang for the buck. I would really suggest one. I have one inside my PC case, so it's a PC inside of a PC. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to give my opinion on the subject. I know a lot of other YouTubers have done this before, but they've missed out on some other aspects of the PC, and some have missed out on others. So I was just going to combine basically all of the information that I got from them and what I've got for myself personally. Alright, so the second thing that I'm going to be talking about as our second topic will be when you're going to get a PC and you've decided to cross over from console to PC. It's why you should and shouldn't buy a Mac. Okay, so the cons are it's just terrible price to performance. Apple knows that they have the upper hand, so they'll use that power and they'll overprice their products to get extra profit. The storage slowly deteriorates. They use flash storage for most of their laptops nowadays, and actually iMacs, which are desktop computers, and those actually slowly deteriorate over time, no matter if you have storage in it or not. It's not like an SSD, where an SSD, it gets slower and slower the more you fill it up. But this just deteriorates over time no matter what. So that is a huge con. It's not as durable, I guess. Also, there's not as many customization options as a custom PC. You can do millions and millions and millions of combinations, where it's better than nothing. It's definitely one of the best selections for laptops and desktops in the business for pre-builts and from companies like Apple. So they have a couple options, but not nearly as many options that you can choose from a custom. Also, you can't overclock it. It's locked because Apple is very restrictive on their hardware. Most hardware you can actually not even upgrade. Some laptops you just can't even upgrade the RAM or anything because everything is just soldered on. So you literally can't do anything about it. And their T2 chip, I believe it's either T2 or B2. If you even tinker with the laptop to try and get some extra performance or something like that, it will shut down the software, and you won't be able to use it until an Apple certified professional looks at it. And then you also have to pay for that too. So that's really annoying. Also, Apple's known for really high temps. It's not pretty, definitely. They always hit 100°C. Usually around 90 degrees Celsius, or to 95. One guy, the MacBook Pro for 2018, actually got so hot, because the software wasn't working very well, for temperature detection and stuff like that. One guy actually made a video trying to cook an egg on it. That's how bad the temps were. It was just so bad. Alright, now to the pros. So, the only reason why I might recommend Apple, and this is just if you totally believe in Apple, is for productivity and editing. If you're going to be editing YouTube videos like this one, well, I'm going to be using my PC because it's better price of performance, so I can edit faster and stuff like that. But this is good for on-the-go editing, and it's good for other tasks too, like movie production and other things like that too. Also, their laptops are very thin. Most of them are usually an inch thick or below when folded, and it's pretty insane. And most of them don't look like trash cans. Just most of them. Only one looks like a trash can. I mean, only Apple could do that, but I mean, it's better than having two trash can computers, you know? So, okay. And if you get, let's say, this only actually comes with the iMac. The displays can go all the way up to 5K resolution, which is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie, it's better than 4K, and 4K is usually the upper limit to pixel density. But this is just it's very interesting because Apple was really creative on creating a whole different type of resolution, and they actually made a whole different type of scale. Now theirs is 16 by 10, and most monitors that are from PCs are 16 by 9. And then the early 2000s, it's 4 by 3. Okay, so the last topic that I'm going to be talking about is the pros and cons of laptops. Laptops in general, not just Apple. Okay, some cons. They aren't reliable and they break pretty easily. So one of my friends, ASN bro, he bought a gaming laptop for a pretty hefty price, over $1,000. It had a 970 and an i7 8th gen or 7th gen, something like that. And he replaced the RAM, the graphics, I believe, and the storage, and it still broke every time. And so it was just a huge waste of money. So that is definitely a big factor to whether if you want to actually buy one or not. They're higher price, definitely, but for the portability, actually I'll get into that later, but they're much higher price than PCs if you want to just get one. Even if you were to factor in like the smaller form factor and all that other stuff, they're still significantly more expensive, hundred or hundreds of dollars more expensive than you would with a PC, even factoring in all the size and stuff like that. Okay. There's I say not as much customization, but there's basically no customization because Linus Tech Tips actually did a video on this. He talked about how why you can't build your own laptop, and that's because of the chassis size, and it has to be very specific. Like, whereas a motherboard for desktops is either MATX, IATX, or ATX or EATX, and though that's basically it. There's nothing else other than that. I mean, so yeah, except for server motherboards, but those are all the basic ones, and then they have cases specifically for those. Whereas motherboards, they want to fit the most bang for the buck in price of performance, and they want to get their parts cheap, so they squeeze everything in, and they don't really think about compatibility or anything because they're just trying to make a quick buck. Also, they're not nearly as powerful. This also factors into the higher price, so if you were to pay much higher price, you would get similar powerful laptop, but this is it's just not as powerful because it's limited by temperatures and because of the size of it. Alright, the pros are it's much lighter than a desktop. My desktop is actually like 50 pounds, no joke. Laptops are usually under 5. It's also portable, so good for productivity on the go if you just want to, be one of those millennials and work on a YouTube video and, be at a coffee shop or something. And it usually has a webcam and an included mic. So it's crappy, but it's better than nothing, much better than nothing. So let's say for work, if you're working, then this will be a huge benefit for you. And that basically wraps this whole video up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you in the next one.